The tape was the first thing that felt wrong. Its plastic casing was cracked, the label peeling like dead skin, with the words, "House number 41, 1994, do not open," scrawled in faded ink. I found it in a dusty box at a backwater auction in São Bento do Sul, Brazil, a town so small it seemed to exist only in the margins of the world. My name is Thomas Almeida, a washed-up documentarian who'd traded dreams of Sundance for filming car dealership ads. In 2018, I was desperate for something to pull me out of the rut, and that tape, it called to me. Not in a metaphorical way. I swear I heard it hum, low and insistent, like a heartbeat trapped in the cassette. I didn't believe in ghosts, not then. But when I slid the tape into my old VCR, the air in my apartment grew heavy, as if someone had sucked the oxygen out. The screen flickered, and there they were, the Mendes family. Clara, a woman with tired eyes and a forced smile, cutting a cake. Her son Lucas, maybe 12, giggling as he stole a piece. Her daughter Anna, 16, reading a book, her face half hidden by dark hair. Roberto, the father, adjusting a camera identical to the one filming. The date stamp read, March 15th, 1994. They looked happy, normal. Then the image froze. Not paused, froze. Lucas's hand hovered mid-air, crumbs suspended like stars. Clara's eyes locked onto the camera, onto me, her pupils dilating into black voids. A low hum filled the room, not from the speakers but from everywhere. The screen went black, and when it flickered back, the room was empty. The table was coated in dust, the cake gone, the chairs askew. The clock on the wall read 3:17. Its hands didn't move. I yanked the plug, but the hum didn't stop. It burrowed into my skull, a sound like time itself grinding to a halt. I knew the house. Everyone in São Bento did. House number 41, at the end of a dead-end street, was a local legend. No one stayed more than 3 nights. Realtors refused to list it. The last residents, the Mendes family, vanished in 1994. No bodies, no records, no trace. The town pretended they never existed, but the house stood there, untouched, like a wound that wouldn't heal. I had to know more. I rented a van, packed my camera gear, and convinced Marina Costa, a local journalist with a knack for digging up dirt, to join me. She laughed off the stories about No. 41 called it a small-town ghost tale, but her hands trembled when she lit her cigarette. We drove to the house on a grey October afternoon, the sky heavy with clouds that seemed to press down on the earth. The street was silent, the kind of silence that makes your ears ring. The gate was rusted but open, as if inviting us in. The house itself was unremarkable. 2 stories, peeling white paint, windows clouded with grime. It didn't look haunted, it looked dead. Inside, the air was thick with the smell of mold and something sweeter, like rotting fruit. The wooden floor creaked under our weight, each step echoing too loudly, as if the house was amplifying our presence. A grandfather clock stood in the corner, its hands frozen at 3:17. Marina tapped it. No battery, no weights. It's just stopped. I set up my camera, the red recording light a small comfort in the gloom. The furniture was covered in sheets, like ghosts of itself. On the wall, framed photos showed the Mendes family, their smiles fading in each successive image. In the last one, their faces were scratched out, the glass cracked. Marina found an album on the floor, its pages brittle. The photos inside were mundane at first. Birthdays, picnics, Clara teaching Lucas to ride a bike. But toward the end, the images changed. Shadows lingered in corners where no shadows should be. Clara's smile grew strained, her eyes darting to something off-camera. In one photo, Lucas stood alone in the backyard, a dark shape looming behind him, its edges blurred like smoke. Marina slammed the album shut. "This is creepy as hell, Thomas." We decided to spend the night. I don't know why. Maybe I thought it would make the documentary more authentic. Maybe the house wanted us to stay. We set up sleeping bags in the living room, the camera on a tripod recording everything. The hum from the tape was back, faint but persistent, like a pulse in the walls. I couldn't sleep. The air felt wrong, too heavy, too still. At 3:17 a.m., I woke with a start, my heart pounding. The camera's red light was off, though I hadn't touched it. Marina was sitting up, her face pale, staring at the corner of the room. "Do you see her?" she whispered. I followed her gaze. There in the shadows was Clara Mendez. Not a ghost, not a figure, but something. Her face was hers but wrong, too sharp, too still, like a mask stretched over something else. Her eyes were black, not just dark but empty, like holes punched through reality. She didn't move, didn't blink, but I felt her watching me, through me, into parts of me I didn't want seen. The hum grew louder, vibrating in my bones. Marina grabbed my arm, her nails digging into my skin. "We need to leave," she hissed. But I couldn't. The camera was rolling again, though I hadn't turned it on. The screen showed the room, but not as it was. The Mendez family was there, sitting at the table, eating that same cake from the tape. Lucas laughed, Clara smiled, but their movements were wrong, jerky, like a film skipping frames. The clock on the wall ticked backward. I blinked, and they were gone. But the hum remained, now a chorus of whispers, words I couldn't understand, but felt like warnings. The next day, I dug deeper. Marina wanted out, but I convinced her to stay one more night. I found a box in the attic, filled with papers and a journal in Clara's handwriting. The entry started normal, moving to number 41, hopes for a fresh start after Roberto lost his job. But they grew frantic. The clocks stop at 3:17 every night. Lucas says he hears voices in the walls. I thought he was imagining it, but last night I heard them too. They're calling my name. Later. Roberto found a door in the basement that wasn't there before. It's locked, but something knocks from the other side. The final entry was a single sentence: "The house doesn't want us to leave." I tracked down Dr. Eduardo Viana, a name mentioned in Clara's journal. He was a recluse now, living in a trailer on the edge of town. He looked older than his 50 years, his eyes bloodshot, his hands shaking. "You shouldn't be in that house," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "It's not haunted. It's worse." He wouldn't say more, but he gave me a key, old and heavy, with the number 41 etched into it. "If you're stupid enough to go back, you'll need this." That night, I found the door in the basement. It was hidden behind a stack of crates, its wood blackened, as if burned but untouched by fire. The key fit perfectly. The lock clicked, and the air grew colder, the hum now a scream in my head. Beyond the door was a staircase, descending into darkness that seemed to pulse. Marina refused to follow, but I went down, my flashlight flickering with every step. The walls were covered in scratches, not random but deliberate, forming symbols I didn't recognize. At the bottom was a room, its floor slick with something that smelled like blood but shimmered like oil. In the center was a machine, a tangle of wires and dials, its surface etched with the same symbols. It hummed, the same hum from the tape, from the house, from my nightmares. On a table nearby were photos, not of the Mendez family, but of me. Me as a child, me at my sister's funeral, me holding the VHS tape. I hadn't taken those pictures. I hadn't been in number 41 before last week. My flashlight died, and the room lit up with a sickly green glow. Clara was there, her face inches from mine, her mouth moving but no sound coming out. Behind her, Lucas and Anna stood, their eyes black, their bodies flickering like bad TV static. I ran, the stairs seeming to stretch endlessly, the hum chasing me, now a voice. "Stay!" I burst into the basement, slammed the door, and found Marina gone. Her sleeping bag was empty, her phone on the floor, its screen cracked, showing a photo of me in the basement taken from above. I hadn't heard her follow me. I didn't sleep that night, I couldn't leave. The house wouldn't let me, the front door wouldn't open, the windows wouldn't break. At 3:17 a.m., the clock ticked backward, and the Mendez family appeared again, not as ghosts but as echoes trapped in their last moments. Clara reached for me, her hand cold as death, and whispered, "You're part of it now." I found Marina the next morning, in the attic, her eyes wide, her mouth moving silently. She wasn't dead, but she wasn't alive either. She was stuck, like the Mendez family, like the house itself. I burned the tapes, the photos, the journal. I set fire to the machine in the basement, but the flames didn't touch it. They turned green, then black, and the hum grew louder, laughing. I'm writing this from number 41. I don't know how long I've been here. The clocks are all stopped at 3:17. The windows show 1994 outside. Children playing, cars from another era. Clara walking Lucas to school. I can't leave. The house doesn't want me to. And the worst part? I'm starting to forget who I was before I came here. The hum is in me now and it's singing my name.